So let's talk a little bit now about IFRS 17 from the point of view of it being a measurement model and how that measurement model compares to economic capital. Most U.S. insurance companies that have economic capital use a VaR type approach, very similar to Solvency II, but of course they're not obligated to use Solvency II for their business here in the U.S. So they use their best judgment and they fit Solvency II requirements and VaR type assumptions to what they think will be most definitive for their own business in describing how they should look at their business and what's profitable, what isn't, how they should make changes to make it more profitable. It's interesting to think about that model compared to accounting models in general. So if you compare that economic model, economic measurement model, to say traditional US stat accounting, the two are really quite different calculations. And even though people understand at general terms how the two relate, there's no expectation that companies will, on an ongoing basis, reconcile the two calculations in a definitive and accurate and ongoing way. It's just generally people realize they're different models and treat them as different calculations. With IFRS 17 coming in, that's not the case. IFRS 17 and Solvency II, or broadly speaking, VaR, as it's done on economic capital in the US, are very close to each other. So close that you would expect the numbers to be almost the same. And where the numbers aren't the same, there's an expectation that you'd be able to, we think there will be an expectation, that you should be able to explain those differences. Why is one number higher or lower than the other? And those differences really shouldn't be all that large. So that reconciliation of the two numbers, the ability to explain, this is how IFRS 17 shows my business, this is how my economic capital calculation shows my business, is something that companies need to prepare for. And in preparing for that, they should start to realize that you can't do that reconciliation effectively if you do the two calculations on completely separate platforms. As you think about implementing for IFRS 17, you should be thinking about the implications of using this same system for your economic capital calculation as well. So that integrated approach in terms of how you set up your capability is something that companies really need to prepare for.